impressive to follow in your father's footsteps.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about that.
Bit.
Props to Cole Anthony.
Yeah. it feels good. I'm hoping I get to do it again here in a couple years. We'll see. We'll see.
And that voice you hear is 3D.
Leave it. Almost got taken out in the first play of the game,
saw
Chris.
that.
Well, it's your Orlando Magic on the floor. Jace Richardson getting it to Tristan Da Silva. The crossover. Out to Ethan Thompson. And the first bucket of the game from Thompson.
Yeah, good job there moving the ball. Sacramento came out very physical defensively at the point of attack there, but great patience by the Magic leads to that uncontested triple.
Nick Clifford to Jones for three. Back-to-back threes from the G League veterans on each team.
Yeah, I tell you, I really like Clifford. He's just really poised, as we talked about in the open, does a great job of moving it, and Jace Richardson right on schedule there. 3 threes, 3 made threes here to start the game.
Jace Richardson, his first professional bucket. Reynaud defended by Da Silva. Jones inside the Reynaud, and back-to-back buckets for the rookies on each end.
Yeah, I tell you what, Reynaud really strong and great leverage there in establishing that post position for the Deuce.
The baseline drive, a lot of contact. Nick Clifford comes up with the loose ball. Clifford to Carter. Carter the finger roll, but no. Thompson pushing the pace the other way. In transition, the bump, but can't finish.
Move was terrific. Did a great job of creating the space. Just did not convert there on the bunny.
High screen for Carter. They whip it around. Great hands by the rookie, Jace Richardson.
Yeah, just the instincts there by Richardson. Understanding what they were running. That was some weak side help off the pick and roll, and they were trying to get the post dive. And here's Richardson here, just really poised, and that ability to shoot the basketball, especially from 3 off the dribble, is a tremendous talent, and he has that.
Clifford, the snake dribble, and it's blocked by Da Silva. Thompson kicking it in the corner. The stroke is off. Carter crashing the glass. Carter from the top of the key over to Silva, all air. The hustle underneath the basket to no avail by Isaac Jones.
Carter thought the ball might have been deflected on that shot, but the official says no, and we're going the other way.
Let's take a closer look on the replay.
Yeah, I tell you what, that ball is, yeah, might about got the pinky on it.
Da Silva, second-year pro, tossing it up, errant pass. Carter going the other way. Jones gets the switch and finds Reynaud, the center on the baseline, and it's a foul on Thompson.
Yeah, how about that's just a crafty play there. He didn't have the leverage offensively, but he also knew that if he swung through, he could force contact there and get the foul.
Jones, your G League Finals MVP for the Stockton Kings, who won the G League Championship. Clifford, defended by Thompson. Jones, the hezzy over to Silva. Front rim. Reynaud puts it back.
Boy, Reynaud, his leverage down low, you do not move him in the paint.
Reynaud with the steal. Reynaud on the fast break. Oui, bonbons, all that good stuff.
That's that French onion soup, baby.
9-6, Kings with the early lead. Thompson, bump. Looking for the and one. Back rim will head to the charity stripe.
We just, before you got here, we had an incredible game in the first effort there, but you see here just a good job, the tap to keep it alive, and then the quickness to get the finish before they had a chance to contest, and then jumping in the passing lane and able to get a full head of steam there in the open floor for the Deuce.
I like that.
22-year-old rookie, 3D.
I like it, man. I know there's a lot of talk on draft night why he was slipping, but the little bit I'm seeing so far, GA, I like.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a fit thing, right? You know, he's one of those guys that he's got a unique skill set. He's got some size. The international game sometimes a little bit more perimeter oriented. And he's a guy that definitely seems to be comfortable playing below the free throw line.
Full court pressure by Richardson on Carter. Carter, a little bit of a size advantage. Probing. The nice pass inside. Richardson blocks Reynaud. Giving up about a foot, but a foul by Richardson.
Yeah, and that was just a great find late there by Carter when he was able to get in. These are really tough passes because you got to deliver this where he can catch it in stride and go up quickly, which he's able to. Forces the foul and get a couple free throws.
So Reynaud, the last 6 points for the Kings, and lighten it up. He almost has as many points as the Orlando Magic.
Been really good. And again, what you like about him, he just always seems to be in the right place at the right time. Really good feel and IQ for the game.
The 22-year-old rookie, and that's seems like a theme for the Kings. They're drafting guys 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with experience. The key is, can you find guys that are older that still have a tremendous amount of upside in terms of their development.
And the 19-year-old Jason Richardson looking for the pass inside. Deflected out of bounds. Richardson will take it out. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 6:09 left here in the first quarter. Richardson to De Silva, the baseline jumper. And Jones grabs the board. Pulls it back out. So the Magic get back in transition. Reynaud, why not? Red hot, 4 for 4 from the field, 11 points. The Magic have just 8.
Man, I tell you what, he's been all over the floor offensively too. Screens it well, spaces, can cut. Really just solid all-around player.
Jace Richardson takes the contact, no call, and is off as he hits the deck.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Summer League, here with Jalen Suggs with Orlando Magic. First of all, Jalen, how you feeling and how's the summer going for you?
It's been great. I've been able to work on my body, work on different parts of myself, you know, that just prior I haven't got to do before. So that feeling has been nice, getting myself back to, you know, playing form and, you know, getting ready for the season.
How big is it for you to be here? You've been around Summer League, you're a young vet, to understand, or should I say, teach these young guys what the NBA is all about?
Oh, it's really dope, man. I think this is kind of what it is about. Even at my spot in my career, you know, being able to come back and, you know, share minds with Coach Mose, with all the young fellas on what they're seeing. And we have the whole coaching staff here, the whole medical staff, you know, so really just help these guys kind of get adjusted to, you know, what life is like here. You know, not only on the court and in between the lines, but, you know, you got 24 hours out of the day. You know, that may take up a couple. So, you know, kind of fill them in on that. But, yeah, you know, I love being out here.
Speaking of the life of the NBA, you have a new teammate in Baines. Take me through the conversation you've had with him so far and how excited to play with him.
I'm very excited. You know, I usually look at him as a basketball player, high level, offensively, defensively, you know, between the ears, very smart. So excited to get to work in the backcourt with him and really see what that's like, you know, as we get going and hooping together. But I love it, man. New opportunities, new chances to go in, and, you know, that's what we've been talking about is championships. And it's a common theme in our building, and, you know, I love that for us.
And tonight I see you sitting on the sideline, you sitting with Coach Mosley, the new coach, God Shamgar. Talk about how exciting to be around him.
Really dope. You know, we've had cool conversations as I've gone to Dallas, you know, over my couple years in the league. So for him to be, you know, part of the team, you know, I get to learn from him on a daily basis is something I'm super excited for. You know, I love work and I love learning, you know, from different people, you know, in this basketball world. And you know, I've been hitting his moves since I've been 6th grade, you know, 6 years old. So, you know, to have him in the building is really cool.
All right, last one for you. Paolo gets the big extension. How excited are you for him? One of the big leaders is back for good.
Very happy to know that we're all kind of locked in for that same time frame, you know, that same kind of 5-year gap. You know, it's really exciting. It makes it very easy to kind of visualize the future, you know, and what it could look like, you know, for not only me, Paolo, and Franz, but for all of us as an organization, as a city. So I'm excited. Happy for him, too. Dinner's on him.
Hey, you're pretty good at this. Play another 10 or 15 years. GA, he might be trying to come get our job, GA. Chris, GA, back over to you guys.
Well, he's got a lot more playing left in those legs before he's coming to take our job. Reynaud Can't get it off before the shot clock violation. The Kings still ahead by 6. That was the score, 14-8 before that interview with Jalen Suggs. And so much to get to there as Reynaud gets his first break of the game. But Desmond Bane and Jalen Suggs, let's start with that. As a backcourt for the Orlando Magic, you know this team very well. It's not a traditional backcourt, but it works because of their front court.
Well, it works to your point. One, the possessions are going to be dominated by Paolo and Franz. Those are your two best players. That's who you play through. And so those other two guys have to, one, be great positionally from a defensive standpoint, provide shooting and decision making, and being able to play off, you know, that first, second option. I think those guys are going to complement each other really well. Jalen Suggs is an incredible worker and teammate. I think those guys will mesh well. I'm really excited. I think that the Magic have positioned themselves, when you think about that Eastern Conference, right at the top with a budding superstar with Paolo and an emerging star and Franz, and those two guys really complement each other, and they still have their core, right, from a defensive standpoint. That's where they made their name, but I think this gives them a chance to elevate from an offensive standpoint where they were at times just woeful.
Yeah, great points made by you. Plowden worked it inside. Jones, nowhere to go. Shot clock down to 6 seconds. Stevens thought about it, finds Jones and said, left side of the rim, and the Magic come down with the rebound. Under 3 to go here in the first period. Thompson trying to get the offense going. Pinda from outside, Clank.
What was that?
Hey, you're the shooting expert, my friend.
Well, see, it caught me off guard.
Plowden. Well, that's a lot better for you.
There you go. Leave it.
The largest lead of the game so far for the Kings. They were up 17-10, 2:30 to go here in the first. Thompson, shifty. Franz Crutcher in the corner. De Silva, the only made bucket in the last 4 minutes for the Magic, and he gets another one.
Yeah, and even that one, though, you can see Sacramento defensively really disrupting what Orlando is trying to do and forcing them to have to take tough contested twos.
Speaking of which, a nice, good baseline bucket that's contested by Isaiah Stevens. Thompson fakes the 3 and runs into traffic. Manages to keep the ball. Tries to find Kelly. It's going the other way. Jones. Stevens. And the quick hands by Pinda. He can't get it. Jones resets. Stagnant offense. Cardwell, no.
Yeah, right now, early on, you can see both teams still trying to figure out how their offense is going to flow.
All air for Crutcher.
Yeah, it has not been flowing well here early on.
Well, a 7-point lead by the Kings with 1:10 to go here in the first quarter. Summer League action continues on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. There he is, the main event. Cooper Flagg making his NBA debut on ESPN at 8 Eastern, followed by the Hawks and the Heat. And Dylan Harper in the San Antonio Spurs against the BJ Edgecombe and the Philadelphia 76ers. That game set to tip off at 10 p.m. Eastern. Dylan Harper has not made his Summer League debut. VJ Edgecombe, we did see him in the California Classic.
And I know you love him, as do I. He was really impressive dealing with that sprained thumb, so we still haven't gotten word as to whether or not he's going to play tonight.
And Carter getting his first bucket of the game. The Kings now up by 9 with under a minute to go, to your point. Calling some of VJ Edgecombe's high school games on the NBA app. I started telling people, hey, man, he might end up being one of the best players in that draft class when he's drafted. And he shot up to 3rd on the board. I mean, you remember he wasn't predicted to go that high in the draft a year ago.
Yeah, he had a solid season at Baylor, but I think even more impressive when you get to put him in those individual workouts. You see the explosiveness, the athleticism, his impact defensively, and I think his offensive game a little further along maybe than some might have thought. He was terrific.
And Carter can't finish on the alley-oop. He stays down on the deck for a second, seems to be all right.
And I gotta say, like, the fans tuning in, they sometimes may not realize just how much of a hoops head you are. You love the game of basketball, and we're not just talking about it at the professional level, the grassroots level. You follow a lot of these young players. You've seen their emergence, so I know you have a special place in your heart to see what's transpired with a lot of these young men as they chase their dream.
And more bump on the way up. Really, it's just a special moment. You and I were talking before the game, seeing Jason Richardson out here, knowing his dad, Jason Richardson, going to their games, seeing his younger brother, Jax, and just seeing these kids get the opportunity to play in the NBA is amazing. And it goes down the list, too. I mean, look at Wendell Moore, 23 years old, at the charity stripe right now, trying to get that opportunity to get a roster spot.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not necessarily that it'll be on the summer league team that you're on. You know, sometimes it's just about getting the opportunity to go out and perform and impress someone, not just in the NBA as well. Some of these guys are going to find homes playing abroad, internationally. You know, the game of basketball is so popular all across the world now that you can go and make an incredible living in other countries.
So Carter having a tough time here at the end of the first quarter. An 8-second violation for the Kings guard.
Yeah, you know, we saw this start to materialize, particularly with the Pacers, the full court pressure, and I was waiting to see when this would happen, because when they went from the 10-second backcourt violation to the 8, you know, I always assumed that, you know what, you're going to see more ball pressure now because it's a little bit easier to force those turnovers and disrupt offense, and it's taken a while, but we're starting to see that aspect of the game take hold.
6 seconds left here in the first quarter. Crutcher getting it inside, and some great defense on the back end. Dylan Cardwell deflecting it out of bounds. So with 2 seconds left, the Magic will inbounds and try to beat the clock. Moore from the corner, and it's short. And that's how the first quarter ends, with the Orlando Magic struggling to score. Just 12 points on the board, 21 for the Kings, led by Reno, who's got 11 of their points.
Welcome back to Summer League here with Jace Richardson. Jace, I know it's your first full quarter. Tell me how you feel about the physicality of the game.
I feel great. I feel like it's really physical, really competitive. So just, you know, trying to use my body and be aggressive with guys.
Is this a real dream come true to be out here and be a part of the Atlanta Magic family?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, my dad playing with them, and then, you know, growing up being around, now I'm part of it. It's amazing.
What have you learned so far, the few practices you've had being around Orlando?
Picking up full court. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to pick up full court, and we're going to guard.
Appreciate you.
Yep, thank you.
And you could feel the love between 3D and Jace Richardson. Carter, the errant pass off the back of the rim, and he throws another alley-oop, gets the rebound, and is trying to go up against Crutcher. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, he did a good job setting the floor there, understanding where the shot blockers were, took his time, able to get the deuce.
Crutcher, a G League veteran, getting the offense set. The outside shot is off by Marcus Bingham. Daquan Plowden controlling the offense for the Kings. There's Carter looking for back-to-back buckets. That's Scalabissiere actually on the floor. So my roster is wrong there, GA, but I know who that is.
Yes.
So let's get rid of this. Crutcher working with Labissiere. Moore. And they reset. And a foul as Labissiere goes up.
You can see early on, though, Magic just haven't been able to get anything easy. It seems like everything is a battle just to get a good look at the rim. And you got to credit Sacramento. Doug Christie, the head coach, signed on to remove the interim term, and I had a chance to spend some time with him during the season, and he talked a lot about wanting to establish a defensive presence, a defensive mindset and approach to who they are in terms of the identity. You're seeing some of that here paying dividends defensively in the Summer League game.
So back in to control the offense, Mason Jones for the Kings. Carter getting a breather. Excellent defensive rotations by the Magic. Reynaud, ball fake, then kicks it out in the corner for the assist.
Come on, GA.
I tell you what, DZ, Reynaud, I love his game. You know, he plays with great pace, but he also knows how to play all over the floor. He's impressed here by his impact early.
Alondes Williams with his first shot. In and out. Jones calls for the screen. Takes it all the way, then the swing. Reynaud ball fake, and a nice pass on the baseline. The strong finish above the rim by Tavion Kinsey. It's an 11-0 run for the Kings, a 14-point lead. And another steal. Jones calling for the screen again. Reynaud pushed off his spot. Reynaud resets, goes up, a 13-0 run. Reynaud.
He's doing
Perfect
it all.
from the field, GA.
And that possession there speaks volumes because he set a screen, he got the switch, and he immediately dove. Even though they cross-matched the Magic, he was still able to establish that low post position, gets the post feed and the easy deuce.
Plowden, the nice move, but a little too strong.
Yeah, a little strong. He liked everything but the finish.
Magic looking to stop the drought. Labissiere from outside won't do it. Jones aggressive to the hole, and he'll go to the charity stripe.
Well, Chris, you'll love this conversation. I'm sitting right here next to head coach Doug Christie and new associate head coach Mike Woodson. We're just talking about Reynaud and his play, his feel for the game. How many 7-footers can you see pump fake at the three-point line, put the ball on the floor comfortably, and kick it to the corner for a three like a wingman? Big-time basketball, G.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, with his size, what you love about him is while he's comfortable playing on the perimeter, he's not someone who just looks to stay outside or above that free throw line. He is looking to establish a post presence, not afraid to attack and be physical down low, but he just is real comfortable playing out on the perimeter as well.
And you see that conversation he just had with Mason Jones, Reynaud. And remember, Reynaud, a rookie. Jones, a 3-time All-G League selection, Finals MVP in the G League, 26 years old. So yes, he hasn't had an opportunity a lot to play the NBA level, but that communication, showing leadership on the floor as he misses that free throw.
And obviously, you know, even though it's the G League, he's had an incredible level of success. That tells you he's a really good basketball player, understands how to impact winning, and sharing that knowledge there with Reynaud.
Labissiere shares that knowledge with Reynaud.
Yeah, he shared it with him. He said French onion soup that.
And he stops a 14-0 run
Yeah,
on
watch
that
your
as
head.
well.
Watch your head on that one.
He said no onions in his soup.
Like, I didn't know I couldn't have that.
And Jones fouled on the way up. Labissiere of Reynaud.
Was that a
French
wee?
versus
Was that a
French.
wee? That was a wee wee.
No, that was a
The
whole
French
no.
Revolution is what it is.
That was a whole no.
Whoa.
That's not a yes, that's a no.
Yes.
Isaac Jones at the line of Kings. Shoot two.
So Isaac Jones at the charity stripe now. Also an All-G League third-team selection. 21 points, 13 rebounds in the clinching championship game for the Stockton Kings.
Now, did you do the average age of Sacramento's Summer League team? Because they're mature.
23, 26. And that includes the rookies, because Nick Clifford and Devin Carter both 23.
Yeah.
And Reynaud is 22. So they're older than the Oklahoma City Thunder, if you will. Henda with the big body finish. Another Frenchman.
Yeah, I tell you what, they love their basketball in France, and they have produced some incredible talent. And Penda's one of those guys. He is like a bull in a china shop. He knows one speed, and that's all out.
We're at the French Summer League here in Las Vegas. Welcome back to the NBA 2K26 Summer League, and we are joined now by President of the Orlando Magic, Jeff Weltman, and my friend. It's been a busy off-season. I guess it's the on-season for you. Extending Paolo Banchero, trading for Desmond Bane, signing Tyus Jones, and then drafting Jace Richardson, Noah Penda. So for you, what was the thought process in this is what we need to do to accomplish our goals next season when you went into this offseason?
Wow, that's a big question. Get better. We need to get better. You know, obviously, we've been one of the poorest shooting teams in the league the last couple of years, so we knew we had to address that. But we also felt that part of the reason that our shooting was below our standard was because of a lack of skill and shot creation and shot quality at the end of the day. So we felt in order to elevate the shooting, we needed to hit all those points. And hopefully the players that we brought in will do that.
Well, also, listen, no-brainer, obviously, matched it out. Paolo, how well he's progressed here in his young career. But you also, I'm assuming, looking at the landscape of the Eastern Conference, even though your record wasn't indicative of who you are because of the injuries, you got to feel like you put yourself in the conversation as one of the best teams, if not right at the top of that Eastern Conference.
I hope so. You know, I always say, like, we have to run our own race, you know, and obviously you never root for injuries for anyone in this league. But they're a big part of our game. And so the landscape is going to shift, you know, year to year. We just have to kind of run our race and hope that our team is good enough wherever comes along this season, next season, the season after. And the exciting thing for us is these guys are all young. They're all going to grow up together. And, you know, we hope that the fit is as good as we think it could be.
And you say that, and we look at the stats, and you know them, right? 30th in three-pointers made, 30th in assists, and you went out and you addressed that in Jace Richardson in the draft, in Desmond Bane, in Tyus Jones. Do you think those three players and what they provide can really help in those categories specifically?
I would never put a whole team's burden on a player or two or three. What I am hoping is that those players, along with better health, will address a lot of our issues. Because I think that people kind of, it's easy to forget, you kind of get swept up in the narrative, but Jalen and Franz and Paolo played 97 minutes together.
6 games.
The entire season, yeah. So, you know, by the way, those three guys, that's our shot creation, you know. So I do think that, you know, if we can stay healthy and add those guys, we can make a significant step forward offensively.
And you talked about that, not having the continuity, not allowing that chemistry to develop. It did stunt your growth. You lost Mo Wagner for a big portion of the season as well that affected your bench. So lots of things that went against you, yet you still were able to make it into the postseason. So you got to feel good about that. And then with these added players, your ceiling is still increasing.
Yeah, we went into the playoffs without Jalen and Mo, and you know, we fought, but like you said, Greg, the lack of continuity, the lack of kind of playing together for a full season, that stuff has its effect, and I do believe that with the age profile, with hopefully the depth and the skill level and the IQ that we've added to the team with our vets and hopefully our young guys, that we will have a different look offensively, and it was important for us to not really lose who we were defensively, because that's been our calling card. So the trick was to improve ourselves offensively and maintain our defensive integrity. So, look, it looks good on paper. I hope that's what we've done, but, it's up to our guys to show it.
And you brought out a checkbook, however you want to say it, right? Guys under contract through 2030. So really, it's an investment into this group, whether it's Bane coming in, but already being under contract, then Carroll being extended. Talk about that commitment to this group of guys, because it is a big one when you're going to have 4 guys making over $30 million.
Yeah, I think, our ownership group, the DeVos family, has just been amazing since I've been there, and their commitment to this team, to the city, has just been unflagging. And I think that, this is not new. This is just waiting for the right time to strike. And, we felt that, the things that we were trying to address this summer became available, and, they were eager to jump in and push all our chips up, so to speak.
One more question for you, because I see Jace Richardson fall to 25, and I say fall because we understand the type of talent he is. Night of the draft, as he kept falling further and further, were you excited to kind of see that he could still be there potentially at 25 when he landed?
Yeah, the draft is such a crazy, unpredictable night, and no one ever knows how it's going to unfold. And, we had Jason for a visit at 16 when we had the 16th pick. So that's what we thought of him. And by the way, we had Noah comfortably in the first round, and we had him in for a visit as well. So, yeah, obviously you can't predict it. We did kind of mock it up that he would maybe get into our range, but once you get, within 5 or 6 picks, anything can happen. But we felt really fortunate, that he was available, and we think he's going to be a really nice fit for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff Weltman, appreciate your time. Thank you for spending some of it with us, and good luck to the Orlando Magic next season, and most importantly, good health. We want to see Suggs,
Right.
Carroll,
So
and Wagner
appreciate that.
for more than 6 games together. Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thanks. Great to be with you guys.
So as we get back to the action, it's a 10-point game with 3:30 to go here in the first half. And special thanks to the Orlando Magic for making their president, Jeff Weltman, available to us. It's been a busy offseason for them.
He's been real busy.
And, right?
He's been real busy. And it's fun, too, because in the last, say, 2 or 3 years, you always wonder when would Orlando make some moves to see if they were serious about being a competitor in the Eastern Conference. Right now, Jeff said, let's make some moves this summer.
Yeah, and DZ, to your point, you need to get confirmation that your guys are ready.
Yes.
For you to make the moves, right? And I think that's what last season, even though it was shortened because of injuries, the growth of Paolo and Franz, and I think even though Jalen was injured, he showed some growth as well, allowed you to be comfortable enough to say, hey, look, it's time for us to invest in this group because these guys are ready to compete now.
And with those injuries, they finished 7th in the East. And then, unfortunately, we see the injuries in the Eastern Conference. Jason Tatum, Achilles. Tyrese Halliburton, Achilles. Damian Lillard, same thing. It does seem as if, well, if there's a time to push your chips all in for Jamal Mosley, who we just saw, their head coach and company, now does feel like that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a wise move. And in a lot of ways, it gets magnified positively because of what's happened at the top with Indiana and with Boston. And so it gives you an opportunity, because the one other advantage that they have is when you've got great young talent, sometimes the most improvement you're going to make is through the player's development. And so we still don't know what Paolo and Franz's ceilings are. How much better are they going to be? Does Paolo become a perennial MVP caliber talent, which he's shown, I think, an ability to have? So I'm excited to see the Magic as they continue to ascend in that Eastern Conference.
And Nick Clifford, the first-round pick for the Kings, will head to the charity stripe when we return here in the NBA 2K26 Summer League. In this year's draft, VJ Edgecombe and Dylan Harper, the Hawks and the Heat, and then the Jazz and the Hornets on Friday on ESPN2 and on ESPN. Of course, for the Utah Jazz, Ace Bailey, and for the Charlotte Hornets, Con Knippel, the 4th and 5th picks in the draft. GA, 2 guys that those franchises are excited to have.
And rightfully so. I'm really excited to see a lot of the young talent. I think for young fans, I think they have an appreciation. But for some of the old heads, I hope they start to appreciate just how much the skill set and skill level has improved over time. I mean, you've seen, you didn't get a chance to watch much of it, but the first game that Easy and I had, I mean, it was electric watching the skill and how hard these guys competed and the impact they were having on both sides of the floor.
Nick Clifford at the charity stripe, to your point, the rookie out of Colorado State that played 3 years at Colorado, then transferred to Colorado State. And that Colorado team he was on, you know, Cody Williams came in after him, but littered with guys who are in the NBA.
I remember Tristan De Silva.
Yes.
Was just a
They're
year
guarding
removed.
each other
Yeah.
now.
A lot of
And they were
talent.
teammates at Colorado. Correct. 2:40 to go here in the first half. Thompson on time. Professional scorer, Ethan Thompson.
That was a big time shot deep there. They went under on that pick and roll, and he made them pay.
Yeah, Thompson, 11 points on just 3 official shot attempts. Reynaud.
That's called being efficient.
Reynaud versus Richardson.
Illegal defense there.
Defensive 3-second violation.
Now check it out again. Thompson, 2 for 2 from long range. He also has 4 fouls already in the first.
Yeah, well, you know, fouls are like spades. You know, in summer league, you know, they get 10 and a couple possible. They'll be all right.
I was like, at 3D, I was like, where's it going?
Yeah, we're carrying it over from the first game.
Yeah.
I think we had one player last game, I think got 9 fouls, yes.
I still remember Max Strus here at
Yes.
Summer League.
That's right.
Fouling out.
He had, you know how many he had, 3D? They say 50-11.
50-11.
Count 'em,
Man.
50-11.
He must have been carrying around the hack box.
And the ball, it's a foul inside. It looks like, let's see who they call it on. It's on Jace Richardson. Again, his 3rd foul. Go ahead and use him up.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they give them to you. You might as well take advantage.
Yeah, Don Maker, 10 fouls in a Summer League game. Greg Oden also did the same. Nick Clifford working inside, and it's an offensive foul on Clifford. So we had more fouls than points in the last minute or so.
We talked about this earlier, too. Keep in mind, it's Summer League for the officials as well, as these are all budding officials hoping for an opportunity to find themselves in the NBA one day as well.
Pinda struggling with the handle a bit. Fires from long range. No. Clifford. Carter trying to figure out what he wants here. The high screen from Jones. Carter bumped all the way to the hole. De Silva never gave any space. Thompson, his first miss from long range.
He was due.
Carter to Clifford. No foul on the play, and Clifford's looking at the refs.
I actually thought that was a good no call there.
De Silva pulling up, popping.
Starting to find a little bit more rhythm offensively are the Magic here late in the 2nd quarter.
So that deficit sparked by a 14-2 run earlier by the Kings, as the take inside is good. Their largest lead was 17. We have an 8-point game with under a minute to go. Thompson, back-to-back misses from long range. Jones keeps it himself, and Kelly fouls him on the way up.
That's a skill as a big. You've got to have that ability to run into that DHO, and if you see the defense overextend, be able to attack that big off the dribble. Good job there to get to the free throw line.
So Jones, a 63% free throw shooter for the Sacramento Kings this past season. Played just about 8 minutes a game, under 4 minutes a game, spent most of his time in the G League.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it. A lot of these guys, sometimes it's not even skill set. It could be positional size. that has an impact on whether or not you can perform at the next level.
Well, he makes those.
Yeah. Improvement. He's probably working on it.
10-point game, 40 seconds to go in the first half. De Silva with some speed and tries to fight through the contact. Jones a lot bigger than De Silva. So Jones listed at 245. De Silva tried to plow through him, GA. And De Silva listed as, check it out again, the strength, 217. So giving up about 30 pounds there.
Yeah, but he had the angle, and also he had Jones backpedaling. That's where, as an offensive player, understanding how the game is officiated, initiate that contact to force the call.
Well, Kings coach Deepesh Mistry needs a timeout as we get you ready for the final 35 seconds of the first half.
Back NBA Summer League 2K26, and how about defense into offense? That's what Sacramento really did, particularly in that first quarter. They just came out at the point of attack, and they were able to turn over the Magic, force tough contested shots, and get out in transition to kind of take control here in this first half, Chris.
Yeah, 9 turnovers forced, 7 points. And you look at the scoreboard, it's a 9-point differential. So really, those points off turnovers seems to be the difference between otherwise an even matchup.
Yeah.
So for some of the young players, we get them ready to take the floor. 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Tristan De Silva, one of those guys, we talk about this. Rookies, you go, okay, I want to see how the rookies looks, and it's a mixed bag. But second-year players that were first-round draft picks, like Tristan De Silva, got an opportunity to start 38 times for the Magic this year with all their injuries.
Yeah, and had some really solid moments, no question about it. But what it also does is it gives you a good barometer. Okay, where do I need to have affect growth in terms of my game, my shooting, my ball handling, my defense? And so then you get to come back to Summer League and really get a sense of how much you've been able to improve. And I think this is a really important Summer League for Tristan De Silva, too, because now he's on a team that's really established, and he's trying to figure out a way to work himself into the rotation.
Well, he's going to get an opportunity as Amir Bahar calls a timeout for the Orlando Magic with 10 seconds to go here in the first half. What an exciting first half we had between the Orlando Magic and the Sacramento Kings. And when I say exciting, how about some of the young players that we've seen stand out, the young fans in attendance getting to witness the future players and potential stars of the NBA. Maxime Reynaud out of Stanford, the Frenchman, the most outstanding performance of all. So far, he has 13 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and 1 throwdown. The Kings with 42 points on the board. They lead by 9 as we get you ready for the second half at GA. It's the assists that you pointed to that stood out the most for Reynaud in that first half.
Yeah, listen, in today's game as a big, your ability to play all over the floor has such a profound impact, and that's what we saw from him. He played with his back to the basket. He was great with his screens, great spacing it, passing the basketball, made some terrific assists. So I was thoroughly impressed with his impact on the game, and he projects to really be able to play with the big squad right away. I felt like he's shown you from an IQ standpoint, as he continues to get stronger, his understanding of how to play is lights out.
Yeah, and I mean, they got a big man in Domantas Sabonis that passes very well. So, you know, you kind of look at it, and you've schooled me to this, is when you have a system, right? You want players, even if they're coming off the bench, to kind of fit that system and style of play.
You know, we had in our first game talking with Kenny Atkinson, and he talked so much about, they brought over a guy like Lonzo Ball, and he said, you know, he's such a great system fit in terms of how we play and his skill set. And so to your point, that's exactly right. No, he'll fit right in based on what we've seen from Sacramento last year with Doug Christie in terms of how they want to play offensively. And I like the toughness the young man has. He's got a little edge to him. He's not one to be pushed around, and I think he's got a bright future moving forward.
Yeah, the toughness, the strength will come, right? With an NBA weight room and regimen and that sort of thing. So that's something that can be worked on, as opposed to what he has developed. The skill set is obviously there. All right, so Jones set to inbounds with Thompson guarding him. Two guys who've had excellent careers in the G League, looking for an opportunity to last for their NBA squads. Carter defended by Richardson, the 2 first-round picks from the last 2 years for their respective teams. Jones bumping, grinding, off. Back up with it. Finds Reynaud for 3. Stroking.
It takes him a little while to get it off. A little unorthodox, but I tell you what, he's pretty consistent with his ability to stretch it from 3.
6 for 7 from the field for Reynaud. 2 for 3 from long range. De Silva takes the screen, goes to the hole, and it's denied, but still drops. Jones on his back after contesting that one.
Yeah, but I love that attack. Understanding how Reynaud was playing that, he was retreating, and De Silva just kept eating up that space and got all the way to the rim.
Nick Clifford, first-round pick for the Kings this year, finds Jones, professional scorer.
He is comfortable putting the ball in the basket without a doubt.
Richardson, the baseline pass, swing. De Silva, cash it out.
You know, much better start from an offensive standpoint for the Magic here in this 3rd quarter.
Carter, the finger roll, back rim. Pinda pushing it. Pinda handling the rock the entire possession, is fouled and goes up. But to your point, GA, Tristan De Silva, 14 points, 6 for 9 from the field, and he's that second-year player to keep an eye out on for the Orlando Magic as popping, standing out in his second summer.
Great call, Chris. And that's, you know, when you've had not just a full year in the NBA, but where you were also able to play, and like you mentioned, he started 35 or 38 games for the Magic. You would expect when they come to Summer League this year, from a confidence standpoint and a skill set development, they should look different than some of a lot of the other younger players that are coming here for the first time.
Jones with the clank. Thompson on the other end goes up on Jones, and good verticality by Jones.
Yeah, I didn't like the angle that Thompson took there. He took away the 2-on-1 opportunity, and he really allowed Jones to just defend him.
Yeah, Jones to the hole. That's Isaac Jones. To your point, been watching him transition, I thought he was going to go up to the left, and he went to the right and lost that opportunity.
Yeah, he went straight line down the middle offensively. And again, as a defender, I would be like, "Whoa, wow, thanks." I only have to guard the ball now. I don't have to worry about the pass. A lot of times in that situation, if you throw that ball ahead, you force the defender to have to go commit, and then you can get it back. He chose not to there and not able to convert.
So noticing some fans in the stands rocking the Michigan State jerseys. I was trying to see if those were Smitty jerseys.
Yeah, you saw Smitty popped up real. He knew that Jace was playing. Sparty's got a strong fan base. I got to give him credit for that.
De Silva pulling down the board off the free throw miss. Thompson resets to Richardson. The pocket pass is stolen by Carter. Clifford, ball fake and a take, but it's a foul on Thompson. It'll be his 5th.
That was a really strong attack there by Clifford. Left no doubt in the official's mind that there was some contact.
So Nick Clifford, he had a breakout senior year, played 3 years at Colorado where he averaged 5 points a game, 19 minutes a game. But at Colorado State in his 5th year, 19 points a game. Shot 49% from the field, 38% from three-point range.
Yeah, and the question is going to be, can that three-point shooting translate at this level? Because that's going to be really critical for his development. He's a solid passer, and the three-point shooting is going to be big.
Yeah, so 3 years at Colorado, 2 at Colorado State. Here's the thing. He has not made a bucket so far in his summer league debut, has not taken a three-point shot. So we've seen him ball fake a few times. Maybe he needs to let one fly.
Well, you know, it's summer league. It's early. Sometimes you want to come and establish other areas, like from a defensive standpoint. Because, again, remember, Doug Christie, he's going to put a great deal of emphasis on your ability to guard. And I think from what I've seen here early, he is trying to show that that is a skill set he possesses. And so maybe not giving as much emphasis to his scoring.
And Chase Richardson shaking up on the play, limping as he gets up. It'll be his first opportunities at the free throw line, but the southpaw gingerly rising. Now, he's also been battling an ankle injury. It's been a sore right ankle in the lead up to Summer League.
Yeah, which is never a good thing. And Jace, tremendously skilled, but I'd say smaller in terms of his frame, and so not having the explosiveness and the quickness means that guys are going to be able to put their bodies on you a little bit more, and you know how physical the game has gotten, so that can create some issues for him until he can get healthy.
Well, nails both of those free throws. He got 7 points.
I think he takes a foul to come out, so that ankle obviously looks to have been aggravated.
That might have a little hip action too, guys, by the way he fell.
Let's hope it's nothing serious, because he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, gonna get checked out there in the back. Carter bringing it up for the Kings. Crutcher on defense. Carter to no avail, but there's Jones with the putback. It's a 13-point lead for the Kings.
Yeah, you typically don't want a possession that long where no one else touches it, but Sacramento fortunate there on the offensive rebound.
So it was a 14-2 run for the Kings in that second quarter. They led by as much as 17, and really, as they've kept that lead.
Yeah.
Got down to 8, but they really haven't let it go.
Orlando just really hasn't found anybody that has kind of been able to give them a spark offensively outside of De Silva, and that's really continue to dig this hole here. They're going to get Jones.
And what he was trying to say was that Kelly somehow committed an offensive foul. That's what he's pleading his case.
And he might have. But they did not get that call. And so let's take a look here. Yeah, no, that was a good call there.
Crutcher to De Silva. Excellent closeout by Clifford. And it forces a turnover. The Kings with the impressive steal.
I'll tell you what, defensively, this Sacramento group has done a great job.
Reynaud. Short. That was the most out of rhythm shot.
Yeah.
Pinda inside to Kelly. Nice interior passing.
How about the vision there about Penda? Head on a swivel there. Great read for the deuce.
Clifford over De Silva. His first three-point attempt bottoms his first NBA meet.
Yeah, that's for you, Chris Miles. I can shoot it, but I'm working on other facets of my game here tonight.
You know what it is, GA? He listened to my sound advice to get the bucket. So some good ball movement by the Orlando Magic. Pinda inside with a nice assist. And then outside, unique Nick Clifford with the three.
Wetter.
Welcome back to the NBA 2K26 Summer League on the campus of UNLV, a place that GA knows very well.
Yeah, man, Ivy League of the desert. It was them dudes.
You mean
No, it was a
the
good
Final
time.
Four guys? Final Four.
No, I think I said it right. That too, though. That too.
More.
Ooh.
The fillet is off.
More. Wendell, he had Abissier there for a little dump off. Just didn't see him. unable to convert.
Mason Jones gets it back. He's been struggling to find opportunities to get shots off. Stevens on the baseline is off. Labissiere on the glass.
Magic defensively have been fine. Like, they played well enough on that side of the ball. They just have not been able to find a flow offensively.
And it looks like the foul will go on
The Sacramento fouls on 24, Isaiah Crawford, his first.
It's not on Plowden.
15th foul.
They called that one on Crawford. 14 seconds on that shot clock. Crutcher thought about it, decides to drive instead. No time left on the shot clock. Labissiere gets it off. And it'll stay here. Looks like that will also go out on Crawford.
And that possession kind of indicative of what the Magic have done offensively. Their shot quality has not been great here. Not executing with as much pace as you probably need to create better opportunities.
Crutcher for three. Eye candy.
Big time triple there.
Jones sizing up more. The cross, he hits the deck. Crawford loses his footing, but gets the shot off, all air. Labissiere is there. Crutcher, a 19-point-per-game scorer in the G League this season, is trying to lead the offense. The Magic having struggles getting something going. Crutcher, back-to-back threes, says, I got us.
I'll tell you what, those are big-time triples, too, because, again, the offense hasn't been pretty. Crutcher's bailed them out.
And Labissiere has come in and crashed the glass nice for the Magic as well.
Doing a good job keeping the ball out, but it's Crutcher's ability to knock down a couple triples just to try to soften that defense a little bit. Maybe to open up some driving lanes here for the Magic.
Yeah, forget getting on crutches. You can get on a Crutcher. Carry this team offensively right now. The 25-year-old, undrafted in 2021, providing the spark. Crutcher tried to make it three in a row.
Looked like that was going to creep over the front of the rim.
Plowden immediately on the other end.
Is that a heat check?
Generally, you take those when it's hot. When you're hot.
Oh, okay. I was just double checking.
I
Make
think
sure
it was.
did
I think
miss
it was a
something?
check. I'm not sure if it bounced.
It can't be.
Did it cash?
I don't know if it cashed. It might have bounced.
3:16 to go here in the third quarter. In the fourth, we'll talk to Scott Perry, the GM of the Kings. And cashing out is Crawford from the corner.
Good attack. It just seems like anytime you can get the ball in the paint with 2 feet, good things happen.
Moore, ball fake, a lot of contact. They said he's going up, and that foul will go against Cardwell. So it's an 11-point Kings lead with under 3 to go here in the third quarter. Doug Christie was just posing for pictures. You know, it's been a reunion for GA here, back in his hometown, back on his college campus, and also back with some old friends. There's Mike Woodson next to him, and Doug Christie, the now head coach of the Sacramento Kings, but most importantly, a former New York Knick
I've been
and your
waiting on that.
teammate. The Knicks tape is in the building, GA.
Yeah, and to tell you what, Doug, not many people work as hard or are as prideful as Doug Christie. I'm really excited for him and the opportunity with Sacramento. You got the new regime, Scott Perry and company coming in. B.J. Armstrong on that front office staff as well. So they come in with a mandate from a defensive standpoint of establishing an identity there and from there they're going to build. So impressed what we've seen thus far, and excited for what the Kings are going to offer their fan base this upcoming season.
You know, the legend Isaiah Thomas always informs me about B.J. Armstrong and his defensive prowess. You know, it's one thing, we all knew him as a good shooter as part of those Chicago Bulls championship teams, but also picked up full court defensively. Having him on that staff seems really interesting.
Yeah, BJ, a terrific player, great collegiate career, and obviously had a lot of success with the Bulls. And you're right. And again, we talked about it, the pressure. In a lot of ways, the game's going full circle, right? Getting back to the extended pressure defensively, being disruptive, forcing teams to have to try to play late in the shot clock, and you get stuff like that when you can pressure the basketball.
Yeah, Devin Carter, the second-year player, missed a lot of his rookie season with that shoulder injury. Struggling a bit here today with a lot of the defensive pressure. 2 for 11 from the field, 7 points. But it's a good opportunity to get out there and get a lot of playing time here in the first game of summer.
Anytime you get your rookie season cut short, and he had shown some really good promise early on, but now it kind of sets you back. So this is like hitting the reset button for him to kind of reestablish the direction his career was heading.
Crutcher hit 2 threes so far in the third quarter. Kind of got the Magic stagnant offense going. Looking for a bucket here. Oh! Pass Labissiere off the glass.
I'm going to give him an assist.
You get an assist for that?
I'm going to give him an assist for that. Such a pretty play.
So it's a 7-point deficit. The largest deficit was 17. In the corner, Crawford. No. More. Transition, Tate, and it's a strip. Crawford coming up with it. Stevens to Carter. And he'll reset. Carter from outside. 2 for 12 now.
Just hasn't found that rhythm yet. They're going to get an offensive foul there.
Labissiere
there.
That is Carter on the ground. Check it out again. No, not a shot attempt.
No.
He threw it off the glass for him, GA.
Give me a dime.
Oh, yeah, that actually does look like a pass.
Yeah, I'm taking it. I'm going with pass. It's either that or a really, 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 really bad shot.
Well, we know.
I don't want to go there.
We know.
I don't want to go that deep.
Look, if it was John Stockton, that's an assist for sure, right? Jones to the hole. Can't finish. A lot of contact on the way up. Santos to the bucket, and Reynaud with the defense. And that's off of Santos. How about Reynaud there on the back end of it?
Yeah, and you know, one thing for Sacramento, we haven't said Reynaud's name much. They haven't really involved him in the offense as much here. And that's one of the issues sometimes you get in Summer League. You got so many guys trying to prove what they can do, and they get out of their system, get out of the structure of what they're trying to run here offensively.
Well, he was 6 for 7 to start the game. He's now 6 for 9. So, to your point, not enough shot attempts for Reynaud.
And not just the attempts, Chris, just letting him touch the ball and using him within the offense because he's got to be guarded.
And Crawford does not beat the shot clock. It's a violation. Stifling defense by the Magic. 7-point game. 35 seconds to go here in the third. Again, they were down by 17 and have clawed their way back in the game. We should also note their first-round draft pick, Jace Richardson, is sitting on the bench. We did see him get shaken up earlier in the third quarter. Labissiere at Reynaud. Bucket.
French on French. That's French on French crime right
It's the
there.
French Revolution.
Yeah.
5-point game.
That was a ooh-wee or a wee-wee?
Ooh-wee, yes. Not a wee-wee, that was a ooh-wee.
2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so the Magic could get another shot up. Stevens, the ball fake, Labissiere, eraser. Moore gets it up. Is it good? No. Held on into it too long, but the Orlando Magic, they get it going at the end of the third quarter and turn this into a 5-point game as we head into the final frame.
All right, guys, here's with Max Renaud. Max, take us through the physicality of this game and how you're adjusting to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a summer league. Everybody knows it's going to be physical. Both teams have 10 fouls. Each player's right. So just got to be the most physical team, make them feel us, and assert yourself on the defensive end.
Offensively, you seem real comfortable with the dribble handoffs, DHOs. Where do you get that from?
Yes, sir. I mean, watch a lot of clips. Obviously, Sabonis is a big inspiration for me. That's what I've been running in college for 4 years, and thankfully, translates to the game here pretty well.
Last one for you. How big is you guys' defense so you can hold on and close out this ball game?
Well, I mean, that's our whole identity. We need some defense no matter what, right? I think we're up 15 at some point. We need to get back at that point and hopefully, finish the game strong.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So an 8-0 run by the Orlando Magic. They've made it a 3-point game. But the most important part of that interview with 3D,
Yes.
he called him sir.
Yeah.
Twice, yes.
Well, he did go to Stanford. He went to Stanford, so he's respectful.
Or would you say
Smart kid.
the Ivy League of the West?
No, that's the V, man. That's UNLV. They just in the West. We the Ivy League of the desert.
Wait. So you're saying Stanford is just another school,
It's a good school.
but UNLV is the Ivy League of
Is
the
the
desert.
school. Stanford ain't in the desert.
But I'm taking your words and trying to understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick up.
Just think
what
of
you're putting
all,
down.
you know how much of the world is desert, right? So a lot of desert in the world.
In Australia, in Africa, yep.
Yeah. And we the Ivy League of the desert. Think about it. Can we get back to the game? Thank you.
6-point game, 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The GA-ism. Labissiere.
Looking
Showing
like a
the
first-round
moves.
pick. He looking like he's trying to get a roster spot. Labissiere has been impressive here.
The 29-year-old, no quit in him. He's had a ferocious throwdown, back-to-back soft touches around the basket.
Been good defensively, been active as well.
But look at that crossover. Renaud, get a taste of your own medicine.
That was actually very impressive there. And he's really given them a huge shot in the arm in terms of his impact offensively here for the Magic.
Crutcher, pocket pass, Labissiere. Kicking it back out to Williams. Can't cash out. Moore, the second chance opportunity. Off. Jones, dangerous in transition. Finds Renaud inside, and he is denied by Moore.
Yeah, that was a terrific play by Moore. Anticipated that pass, and Renaud did not see it. Just assumed he'd have the easy deuce. Wendell Moore said, "Not on my watch."
Nick Clifford back into the game for the Kings. Renaud with the dribble handoff to Jones. Clifford gets the open look. In and out. Moore. So we saw him with the rejection now, crashing the glass.
Moore's always been a terrific defensive player, very athletic.
Some great ball movement. Crutcher just short. Jones to Jones. And some contact way away from the basket. Moore wishes he can have that one.
Tell you what, though, this one again hadn't been a pretty game. Two teams that are really about their defense, so you got to give them credit for that. They have made the opposing team really struggle to create quality looks in the half court. And then really neither team's look to play with a lot of pace, right? This has been a much slower possession, lower possession game.
Clifford gets the bucket. So he's starting to find a bit of his spark here in the second half. Both of his makes coming after the break. De Silva, double team, the spin. Beautiful looking.
That was impressive. Unable to convert there.
Jones to Clifford. Very good with that ball fake in that first dribble.
Well, and the key to all of that is your offense. You want to, when you pass the ball, you want to create an advantage for a teammate. That was an example where when he caught it, the defender was running at him. So now you've got that guy at your mercy. You can pump fake, you can get 2 feet in the lane, and then you put the defense in rotation. And we just haven't seen a ton of that tonight. But those are the kinds of possessions you want to create for your offense.
So how about this? If you look under the baseline, the basket where Nick Clifford is shooting free throws, you see Jamal Mosley, but sitting next to him is Gad Shamgar. He was hired as an assistant coach there, worked with Mosley before. But Kyrie Irving points to how much of an impact that Shamgar had on him in Dallas, what he's been as an inspiration and as a daily assistant coach for the Mavericks. Now with the Orlando Magic could have an impact.
Well, gosh, he's like a cult figure. You know, he's got that kind of a following from a basketball standpoint. If you're into the game of basketball, you know who Gad Shamgar is, and you're right. He's got a way to connect with guys. How about that up-tempo finish, forcing a timeout? And I think Gad Shamgar is going to have a huge impact on Orlando's offense.
And Tavion Kingsley throwing it down. It's a 9-point Kings lead. When we return, we're going to hear from Scott Perry, their vice president. And welcome back to this game between the Sacramento Kings and the Orlando Magic. We're joined now, the general manager of the Kings, Scott Perry. And first and foremost, we just need you to hold it together. I know that's your guy over there. we got to keep this thing together.
Exactly. He's dying to get me on the golf course. So he can beat me up.
I told him we could be partners.
Exactly.
Partners, man.
Okay.
So from what you're seeing from some of your draft picks the last couple of years, Nick Clifford and also Reynaud. Yes. And there's Clifford catching that alley-oop. What are you looking for in this first Summer League game from some of these guys?
You're just looking to see what's transferred over from the 2 practices we've had. And these young guys are really have good basketball IQ, and that's showing here today. And so you want to just make sure that the moment is not too big for them, and just see them progressively get better as the game goes on and the Summer League goes on.
And now, Scott, I follow you on social media before you took the job, and I love just listening to your philosophy and how you like to approach the game. Talk a little bit about the mission statement coming to Sacramento, what you impressed upon ownership of how you envision taking the Kings in the direction you foresee.
Well, Greg, as you know, any good team has an identity, especially any team that's won a championship. And so that's the first thing that I wanted to get done. So Kings basketball is going to be known for competitive, tough, team-oriented, disciplined, accountable, and professional. So that's what we want to get established, and we want those type of players. So we also want to excel on the defensive end and let the defense control our offenses. And so this is the first kind of introduction to that, and we want to build upon this throughout the summer and the season.
Yes, certainly. It seems as if, too, when you draft guys, we're noticing the age, 22, 22, 23. Are you going into the draft thinking, okay, we need guys that can come in and contribute immediately, and going after guys with a little bit more experience?
Well, I think part of it is where we drafted this year. Because we're late in the draft, you're going to get more experienced players. If you're up in the lottery, we know the guys 18, 19 years old are going up that high. So I like getting these experienced guys because Greg and Chris, as you know, they're coming in a little more physically mature and mentally mature. So they have a chance to contribute to a team right away. So if hopefully both of these young guys can give us some rotational minutes during this season.
Now, when you first got to Sacramento, did you say to yourself, wait a minute, y'all just traded Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox? Did that at least, did you be honest? You know, I know that had to at least cross your mind.
Well, as a point guard, Greg, you know it does. And so, and I was there, drafted De'Aaron Fox the first time. So, on my opening press conference, I talked about the need for us at the point guard position. We obviously just addressed that with Dennis Schroeder, a veteran guy who brings that toughness and that edge that we are looking for as a team. So I think he's going to be able to help us in that way this year. And we're going to continue to look at that position because I still believe, and I'm a little partial to that position. I didn't play it as well as you did, Greg.
You played it well.
No, exactly. But I know how important having that quarterback on the floor is. You know, he initiates not only your offense but your defense. And so that was extremely important. And came to a roster, quite frankly, it really didn't have a true point guard on it. So we're going to be looking to do that. I'm watching Nick Clifford in our practices. You know, he's comfortable handling the ball. And I think he's going to eventually grow into somebody that can at least give us some minutes, maybe in a backup capacity at that position, I'm hoping, because he's got a really good basketball IQ. He passes well with both hands. And so I'm really excited to watch him grow, too.
How does it help when you have a guy like Domantas Sabonis, when you go look for point guards or guys that can handle, when you have a big man that passes so well?
Very helpful, you know, when you have a big man that can pass the ball. Again, I'm a believer in sharing the game, and that's from every position. I think when you have a team that passes extremely well and cuts well, that's tougher to defend. If you're pounding the air out of the basketball, that's going to be very difficult. I mean, that's easier to defend. I mean, obviously we have some great players in the league that can do that and score a lot of points. But as I came in here and you're talking about creating an identity, I want us to really share the game, having a big man like that who's unselfish, who obviously is capable of scoring, but him being able to pass and people be able to cut off of him actions, and he can operate from that high post area, I think can give us advantages on a lot of nights.
Yeah, and to your point, Scott, the thing about the game, you know, the dimensions of the floor haven't changed, but the court's gotten so much bigger because of where guys play from now. You know, you know, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't have to guard guys at 30 feet from the basket because they weren't shooting out there. Now that the game is opened up, to your point, you know, your big's ability to play in space becomes really important. And the young man, Renaud, has shown that he has a good feel for how to play in space. I mean, he's got a mature physique. Even though he's a little older, he's still got some maturing to do. But he seems to have a great grasp of how to play the modern game, where as a big, you got to be able to impact it above the free throw line.
There's no question about it. And that's what attracted us to him. He does have a very good skill set and a very good understanding of how to play the game as a modern big. To your point, he needs to continue to get stronger, to gain, you know, more balance, be able to hold his position better. But I tell you what he's shown me today, and I know he's been working a lot at it coming into the draft, is moving his feet defensively out on the perimeter. He switched on to a couple of perimeter people during this game, and he's held his own. And he knows that that's something he's going to have to do if he's going to want to play and play consistently at this level. He's an extremely hard worker, as is Neat. These guys, I mean, when we drafted Renaud, he showed up the next day and he was insistent upon working out twice a day. And we're like, hey, you haven't even signed your contract yet. We can't get hurt, you know. But he still wanted to go in the gym and shoot a little bit and do things. So he is committed to this game. And as you know, when you can get a big man who loves to play, that is big, and I think that means he has a really good chance of improving because he is committed and wants to be good at his craft.
General Manager of the Sacramento Kings, Scott Perry, we appreciate your time sharing some of it with us here on this broadcast of the Kings in the Orlando Magic.
Chris has started to play a little golf now.
Oh, Chris is playing a little golf now?
Playing a little bit.
How many strokes is Greg giving you so I know how many I need to get when I play him? Exactly.
You know what? My handicap is like I need a parking sticker. That's how bad my handicap is.
Scott, you like family. You get as many shots you need, bro. You ain't got to worry about it. You get as many many as you need. But we really are excited for you and the future of Sacramento. It's a great basketball city with a good history, and it's going to be nice to see you there, kind of getting them back to the forefront in that Western Conference.
Well, I'm excited for the opportunity and the challenge, and we're going to do our very best, and really appreciate you guys and the work you do. Enjoy listening to you all the time, because you are making the basketball public so much more knowledgeable.
All right, appreciate you, and good luck next season, Scott Perry. We appreciate it. It's a 7-0 run by the Orlando Magic. We got a 5-point game with 2.5 to go.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
We have ourselves a goodie between the Kings and the Orlando Magic with 2:25 to go. It's a 5-point game, and here's the thing. The Magic, they have not led since it was 6-5. They were down by 17, but has shown some fight. Jace Richardson checked back into the game, and he has been aggressive. I don't think he's hurt too much.
No. You don't really get hurt that much when you're 20, 21 years old.
19. He's 19.
You get hurt even less when you're 19.
Jones looking for the shot over Thompson. Carter has to throw it up. And De Silva with the hustle board.
Yeah, and it's a ton of time in a 2-possession game. So if you're Orlando, you don't have to get overly aggressive. Make sure you get good looks with each possession.
Thompson cross court to Richardson. Pass to Silva. Cash.
Well, this game's taken on a similar dynamic to what we had in our first game, where Cleveland was in control throughout until it mattered. Similar here with the Magic finding their form here late.
The Kings struggling to score. It's a 10-0 run by Orlando. No foul call on that play. Carter on the deck. Richardson on the other end. Filet through the contact for the rookie. 12-0 run for the Magic. We're tied at 74. Clifford the spin. And the finish on the other end as De Silva hits the deck. The rookie's going to work.
How about those back-to-back finishes in traffic by Richardson and Clifford?
Thompson, the vet, pull up, off. Clifford on the glass.
Good decision. No reason to rush right now if you're Clifford. Make sure we get a good look. We're going to get at least one more, maybe 2 more possessions.
Well, he beat that 8-second violation. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Carter goes. Kicks it to Clifford, who's up, and away. 4-point lead for the Kings. 43 seconds to go.
And a lot of times you don't just look at the stats in the game. You look at the impact in those moments. And Clifford, back-to-back possessions, huge for Sacramento when they were reeling. Nice find by Carter. Clifford not settling for the perimeter shot, understanding there's no rim protection. They're in rotation, goes into attack mode.
Well, Scott Perry said, hey, we plan on potentially playing him at backup minutes at point guard. We see the good decision maker.
Yeah, he also can guard that position, which is impressive. Great field defensively as well.
De Silva way off. And so after a 12-0 run, the Kings are able to find their offense. So no more fouls to give for either team. So upcoming Summer League schedule on ESPN. How about that? Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe set to play each other at 10 o'clock Eastern tonight. The Hawks and the Heat 4:30. And then Friday, Utah Jazz, Charlotte Hornets. That should feature the 4th and 5th picks in the draft. And Con Knipple and Ace Bailey. So there are no fouls left to give. It looks like Jones will go to the charity stripe. Mason Jones, a guy who is, if you look at his ability to score, 31 points per game in the G League playoffs. At the charity stripe, 84%.
Yeah, and an example of a guy that unquestionably has a high degree of skill. And it's just a matter of from a positional size, and the fact that what he does really well may not translate at the next level. And that's sometimes what can hold a guy with incredible talent back. But, you know, he's still got a love for the game, still wants to play at a high level, and still chasing this dream.
26 years old, 3-time All-G League selection, and a champion this year, the G League. De Silva handling the guard duties against Clifford, loses it, but Pinda, the second-round pick, is up and in with 12 seconds to go.
It's a good finish there, but probably a little too late now, especially the way Jones is shooting free throws. You talked about De Silva. That's another area where he's got to continue to improve, being able to handle in traffic. Fortunate with the bounce there that they're able to get that deuce.
Well, with Crutcher, we gave him an assist off the glass.
Yeah, we're going to give him one now.
Yeah, give him on there.
Got to.
So Tristan De Silva, 19 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 8 for 15 from the field. Does that pop enough for you for the second year?
Well, it does, because they've got guys in transition in terms of like Jace Richardson. He's still trying to figure it out, learning on the fly. But I thought De Silva separated himself. He looked like a guy that had been in the NBA in the prior season. So I'm happy with his progress thus far.
Mason Jones misses that one, but they called a timeout, and it was
that might have been an inadvertent whistle there, because possession doesn't seem to have been
well, she pointed to the bench, and they're having a conversation now. Simone Jokes made the call on the play. Looks like Johan Russo is trying to figure out. They're correcting that.
Yeah, that's one of, because the assumption was the free throw's going in and you're going to call timeout. Unfortunately, it doesn't, and possession's not established.
And so with 10 seconds to go, 5-point game, Kings get the ball back. It does feel like this is pretty much over.
You had to do that, get the ball inbounds first and foremost. Now, if you make 2, obviously it's over, because it's a 3-possession game.
So for Nick Clifford, you know, broadcaster's jinx, however you want to say it, he was 0 for 4. And I said to you, GA, man, I want to see him get some shots up. Looks like he's got 9 points and counting here in the fourth quarter.
And more importantly, I love that he was patient, didn't really force much, and just kind of waited for his opportunity. And he understood the time and score. That was the most impressive thing for me down the stretch. He was very poised, under control, and really kind of stabilized this Kings team as the Magic had him reeling there.
And his general manager likes what he saw today.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what matters most. So Nick Clifford, after making both of those free throws, now has 17 points on 10 free throw attempts. The Kings with a 7-point lead. Remember, this thing got tied up at 74 apiece. And the Kings went on a 9-2 run to take this lead with 8 seconds to go. So we've seen the young guys, Nick Clifford, Jace Richardson, Devin Carter, Tristan De Silva. What's been most impressive of those players, and Reno as well, the second-round pick, what's been most impressive of those guys to you?
I like the maturity of all of them. I think they all, you know, a lot of times with young players, they'll spend a lot of time trying to prove what they can't do. And what these guys did was they came out and understood we're here to play winning basketball. And so you saw them under control a lot. You saw them playing within structure. So I was impressed thoroughly with all 4 of them, which bodes well for them. It bodes well for their teams and our game. I think we saw that even in our first broadcast earlier. You love to see these young guys come in with a level of maturity where they're here to improve as an individual to help the team collectively.
All right, let's check out the great ball movement by the Sacramento Kings, and it starts with their big man, Reno.
Yeah, and that's what I've been, being a willing passer and understanding what a great shot is and what a really good pass is, spacing the floor, doing just a really good job overall. And this is what we talk about when you talk about sharing the basketball. a really good job with Sacramento. Reno, anytime your most talented players play the right way, move the ball, share it, it really does put everybody in a position where they've got to play that way. It's almost like peer pressure. So impressed to see that from the young man here tonight.
17 assists for the Kings as they seem poised to get this win. And they force a turnover, but it looks like they're going to call a hold on Nick Clifford inside.
Yeah, he doesn't like the call. But again, I like the effort defensively, but not the wisest play. That's the only thing you're really worried about. I'd rather give up a basket than allow him to get to the free throw line with the clock stopped.
All right, so you made this one with 6 seconds to go. Do you miss this on purpose?
Well, probably. I mean, listen, we've seen some crazy stuff happen. I will grant you that.
He made both.
But I kind of feel good about Sac right now.
So
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm picking Sac to win this.
That's not how it works in Vegas. I get what you're trying to do here.
Listen,
the book's closed.
Yeah, one thing I learned about Vegas, they did not build this city on generosity. That I do know.
Generosity to the casino.
Yeah. Don't come here to get rich, folks. Come here to have a good time.
That's it.
So for Carter, we should point out how well he played in his 5 G League games after coming back from the shoulder injury. I mean, he really lit it up. A cold showing for him today. 2 for 14, 0 for 4 from long range. But, man, 29 points in his G League debut and was incredible. Averaged 26 in those 5 G League games. Richardson for 3. And that's how it ends with the rookie cashing in from outside. Jace Richardson with 14 points on just 8 shots in his first summer league game. But it's the Kings that come out with the crown, 84-81. That is your final score as Doug Christie comes over in a happy mood seeing his team get the win, GA.
He told you, he said, hey, aren't you a Knicks fan? Yeah.
He said, hashtag Knicks tape. Thank you for hanging out with us here on the NBA 2K26 Summer League between the Magic and the Kings. We'll be back with the Bucks and the Nuggets.